I'm Dr. Kwadwo Safo. I'm a medical practitioner by profession, under the tutelage of Apostle Dr. Kristo Asafo. I'm doing herbal medicine with the Kantanka Herbal Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. Today, we'll be talking briefly about a breakthrough from Kantanka. For the past 20 years, again and again, he's been doing research to demonstrate that the black man is capable. But we are here today to witness just 2 cases among several thousands, tens of thousands of cases. Kantanka has demonstrated with evidence that our herbs are capable of managing our affairs. Let's start. I call him the father of herbal medicine and integrative medicine because I never believed in herbal medicine till I met him. But now I believe in herbal medicine at 200% times. Moving on, we have hepatitis. We're going to talk shortly about hepatitis B. From WHO, we have 296 million people living with chronic hepatitis B infection. And out of this, we have 1.35 million new infections each year. It will surprise you to know that every minute we have 1 to 2 people dying from hepatitis B. So by the time I leave here, you'll be surprised to know we have more than 20 people passing on to the other life, all because of this chronic infection. In 2019, it resulted in an estimated 820,000 deaths, mostly from cirrhosis, end-stage liver disease, and cancer. The person may say hepatitis B yare ne edi enya na yare no etumi de kokram a eto ohrawa mu eba. Sa yare ya so tumi ma eye wo brebo no eye den essay. Esa say to be say brebo din ti no Kantanka afrafra nru ahodo na mu nyina mu behu niam ahodo a yehu ewo sa eduro no mu. Finishing this particular slide, this has resulted in significant morbidity and mortality. Just say kumukrofobebre na asaying krofobebre. Every year, 2,800 people die from this condition. Every particular day, 2,800 people. Going on, you can see evidently, say, Sakokrami, every infection, hepatitis B, ubenyemu, to unya sa infection no na eche wo widiemu na nyame amboa ma wenye duro anso ano then you end up with a possibility of getting to a chronic infection which could result in end-stage liver disease at a point or a carcinoma, that's a cancer. And it's been implicated everywhere that the virus happens to be the leading cause as a risk factor for hepatocellular carcinoma. As we move on, I'll be presenting cases to you. And my case reports, the first case I'll be sharing with you is the case of a young lady. But by protocol, we have an informed consent. Everybody we saw for this, we had an informed consent. 2, we have data from MDS Lancet, which is an accredited ISO-certified laboratory, to make sure the reports we have don't have biases. So let's go. Our first case is a 24-year-old young lady who happens to be an attendant at a filling station. You'll be surprised that with this girl's up and down, she ended up with hepatitis B viral infection and came in jaundice, came with fever, very weak, and had severe pain on her right side. In the acute process, she had no money to seek health care. Apostle took it up and told her she would solve all these problems with herbal medicine. Now let's take a critical look at her labs. If you watch this lab, this is the lab from the patient which was reported on the 28th of April 2022. And from the labs, the marker for injury for hepatitis B, if you get an injury in your liver, the marker happens to be ALT. Over here, ALT was 226. Again, AST was 330. All were 5 to 10 times higher than the upper limit of normal. Within a space of just 5 weeks, the value for bilirubin, which was 111, dropped to 39. The value for ALT, which was 226, dropped to 50. The value for AST, which was 330, dropped to 69. From all these results, we know that hepatitis B as an acute infection would resolve, and you have 9 out of 10 people getting better. But from your markers, it takes 3 to 4 months before you start getting results like this. But with this particular distilled extract from Kantanka, we are achieving this within weeks. You can see here from my graphical representation, 111 down to 7. All her liver functions have resolved. So these are the things that move us, because we move with evidence, and evidence does not make noise. Let's move on to our next patient. Our next patient happens to be a 35-year-old lecturer who was actually diagnosed incidentally out in Europe of hepatitis B, out of regular screening. Whilst he got this diagnosis, he was told over there that there is no treatment for this condition. He was worried. He had no option than to come down and seek herbal medicine for treatment. This lecturer is single, does not smoke, does not take alcohol. All other risk factors for this were not necessarily established. However, we did labs to demonstrate and identify how much of this hepatitis B was actually in his blood. Follow me as you check on this slide. Now, on the 8th of August, first DNA copies done. We had 55,348 copies per mil. The reason why this is very necessary and dangerous is because if you have copies of 10,000 and above consistently, you have a higher risk of getting a cancer, that is hepatocellular carcinoma. 2, you have a higher risk of possibly getting cirrhosis, end-stage liver disease. But within from 8th of August to 17th of September, within the same period, these copies from 55,348 dropped to 6,053. 89.06% significant reduction in viral load. This is a miracle. The reason why this hardly happens is because the virus is very robust. It's a DNA virus. So for you to get a formulation that will help with significant suppression, if you watch here, you can see the dip. The margin is very huge. And this, I never knew could happen from herbal medicine, had it not been Emeritus professor. So as a medical doctor, I'm convinced that a condition you can actually spend minimum of $1,000 a week for taking interferons, he can get his formulations from our homegrown soil. All herbs you would use are homegrown, and you are going to get 89.06 minimum reduction in that, and it's sustained. Let's move on to our next slide. Now, we are confident that this particular product from Kantanka is a game changer, because every day you have 2,800 people dying from hepatitis B. So by the next day, it will be doubling on our next day of this exhibition. So we are confident to say Kantanka has a supplement which is novel. Kantanka has a supplement which is cost-effective. Kantanka has a supplement which is organic. And this supplement is FDA approved. For your notice, I won't bore you. There are several cases Kantanka has demonstrated with herbal medicine. But I'll leave the stage with this young girl who was delivered in the States. Mother Ghanaian, father American, born with choledochal cyst, congenital liver disease with biliary atresia. They could do nothing about it. Liver was bad. They had to do surgery. Surgery done. This child was given 3 weeks as a prognostic period for survival. Now, it will interest you to know that this child who was proposed to die in 3 weeks is now 5 years old under the treatment of Kantanka. And I'll let you all know that this is just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to what Kantanka and his herbal formulations can do. Truth goes through 3 phases. First, it is ridiculed. Secondly, it is violently opposed. Thirdly, it is accepted as self-evident. That's why we are using evidence-based plant medicine under the tutelage of Kantanka to demonstrate that the black man is indeed capable of managing his own affairs. If you have a genius who sees what no one can see, you will hit all your targets. Thank you.